This is a really wild story. An influencer who dared to touch a table has now been arrested by the FBI. I am not kidding you. Now, it has been going on 4 years since a few people trespassed, at the Capitol. And again, just so we're clear, if people were trespassing, if people were breaking property or damaging property, I'm 100% fine with them have receiving fines or tickets, especially if they had also done the same thing to leftists who have done the exact same thing multiple times, but of course they didn't. This has been a completely political persecution, in my opinion. However, that said, the FBI has decided they're going to set out to ruin anybody's life they can who is there. We've had people choose to leave this planet as to avoid, prosecution. We've had journalists, content creators like Owen Schroyer put in prison. These American citizens being treated like, foreign, terrible, the worst type of person on the planet, putting crammed in federal prison, all this kind of stuff. Well, now, by the way, again, never mind the invasion on our southern border. Never mind the Supreme Court saying it's cool if all these people are armed. The FBI has now brought charges against Isabella DeLuca for touching a table that came out of the Capitol on January the 6th. I repeat, she got charged for touching a table. Now would be a great time to leave a like on this video and make sure you're subscribed or following, and make sure you share this. By the way, obviously insane that our FBI is spending their time politically persecuting anyone they can. This is a picture of the individual outside of the building, so I don't know if they were ever inside the building or not. By the way, wearing a mask and touching a table. Not carrying it, not moving it, not taking it, putting it in the back of their van, touching it. She was arrested 3 days ago and specifically charged with 5 counts, including theft of government property, aiding and abetting theft of government property, parading and demonstrating or picketing in a Capitol building. This woman. It's absolutely ridiculous. Here, of course, is the full arrest warrant for Isabella Maria DeLuca. This is what the FBI is doing. You see the charges. This offense is briefly described as follows: theft of government property and aiding and abetting theft of government property. The FBI is working on this, bros. The FBI. We're being invaded on our southern border, right? We've got, literal Terrys getting caught down there, and they're worried about this dainty little model chick who touched a table. Entering or remaining in a restricted building, disorderly, disruptive conduct. This should be a $50 fine. They're going to try to put this woman in prison. The story is insane. Robbie Starbuck tweets, just to be clear, it's cool to film hardcore dude-on-dude action in a Capitol building, but if you touch a table, it's a threat to democracy. You see Chad Prather writes, I guess touching a table is a threat to democracy. This is insane. She's being targeted for her views, plain and simple and ridiculous. This is happening in America, friends, not North Korea, not Russia, not China. Robbie Starbuck, just so everyone knows the rules, filming a hot dude-on-dude video in Senate hearing room is totally fine, no charges if you're a Democrat. Touching a table near the Capitol is a criminal offense because someone might later use that table in a crime. This is so insane to me. This is, again, America. Now, I very rarely share these type of things because it opens me up to, otherwise I'd be sharing Give, Send, Goes every single day of my life, This is one that, this woman definitely needs our help. I'll leave it linked in the description. This is insane. And shout out, by the way, she actually used Give, Send, Go instead of GoFundMe. Good for you. Social media influencer charged for touching a table. According to the Constitution, it's, quote, our house. A conservative social media influencer is facing federal charges for breaching the Capitol, doesn't appear to be breaching it, and helping pass a table out a broken window, according to court records made public on Monday. Isabella Maria De Luca, who boasts more than 333,000 followers on X, was arrested last Friday in California more than 3 years later. It took them 3 years to cook up these charges. 3. For what? For what? We have people, there's been half a dozen people on the receiving end of terrible behavior from illegal invaders that have been in this country in the past month. People have lost their lives to this. And this is what the FBI is worried about? Some blonde influencer chick? The 24-year-old Long Island native and former congressional intern was one of several people who allegedly passed a table from U.S. Senate terrace room to others outside the building that was then used against law enforcement. By the way, saw it happen, 1,000 times during the Summer of Love by BLM. We saw all these pro-Palestinian peaceful protesters doing stuff. We saw people storming capitals, I believe, in Connecticut and in Nashville. All Democrats, I don't think any of their lives were ruined. I don't think the FBI has been, meticulously putting cases up against them over the last 3 years. Quote, this table was subsequently used against law enforcement officers guarding the Lower West Terrace tunnel. So? She didn't use it, did she? She didn't do that. And again, footage shows Luca entering the suite of conference rooms inside the Capitol through the same broken window before she climbed back out where the table was passed through. I mean, what? Other images show DeLuca in a restricted area around the Capitol. The FBI agent wrote in the affidavit she was charged with theft of government property, disorderly conduct, and entering a restricted zone, all misdemeanors. Well, the thing is, misdemeanors, okay, it would be one thing if that's how they were sentenced, if that's how they were, put together, okay, here's your $80 fines that you probably don't have to pay because you vote for Joe Biden, blah, 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 blah. But they're probably going to try to put this woman in prison, almost certainly. Look what they did to Owen Schroyer. He never even entered the building, and he went to federal prison and sat in solitary confinement. In America! Not North Korea, not China, not Russia, America. You want to charge them with trespassing and give them an according ticket to that? I accept that. You shouldn't have gone in the building. You shouldn't have broken windows. You shouldn't have taken stuff out of the building, okay? But we know how this is going to be charged. They're going to try to put this woman in federal prison for this. For behavior that is basically, on a scale of 1 to 10, a 2 compared to what we saw during the Summer of Love. DeLuca posted on social media about the scene that day and in the days afterward, including how she was maced, according to court docs. According to around 3 p.m., DeLuca replied to a Twitter post saying, "Fight back or let the politicians steal everything, fight back." When an Instagram user messaged her on January 7th about why she supported breaking into the Capitol, DeLuca allegedly replied, "According to the Constitution, it's our house." She later said in the post she had mixed feelings about the event. People went into the building because that's our house and people feel like we have to take our grievances. She wrote on January 14th, per the court docs, people feel as I do that an election was taken and it was allowed. When she was interviewed by the feds weeks after the riot, she denied ever entering the Capitol. Well, you did. According to the affidavit, DeLuca wasn't silent on social media as her legal troubles became public. "Thank you, everyone, for all kinds of messages and support." She tweeted with a heart emoji. "I appreciate it. She also shared a legal defense fund that raised $1,800 as of Monday night. DeLuca interned for Representative Lee Zeldin, who represented part of Long Island, Representative Paul Gosar, who reps parts of Arizona. She works as a media associate for the Gold Institute of International Strategy until the organization cut ties with her Monday, when, of course, she was charged. I mean, should you have gone in the building? No. I'm not going to say that people should go in the building or were justified to, break things or, But the problem is Democrats have done that a half a dozen times, hundreds of them in the past year, and none of them are having their lives ruined. None of them are getting thrown in federal prison. None of them are getting their families harassed. None of them are, getting 10 visits from the Secret Service and the FBI and all this stuff to discuss their opinions on things or what they might have done. They're all fine. But if you are a Republican or you are around in this state, these people have been completely, you see, this is no longer a free America. Look, again, in all fairness, you should not have gone in there, okay? But again, just so everyone knows the rules, we live in a two-tier justice system where if these people were BLM, they would never have ever faced this level of prosecution. I can guarantee it. Best of luck to her. Hopefully, she can just get out of this with some fines, which I think is, by the way, a fair punishment if you if you broke stuff or whatever. I think some fines is fine, okay? But that's not what they're going to do. They're going to try to put her in federal prison. I'm sure of it. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do give it a share, and we'll talk to you again real soon.